Previously, in Part 4, we followed Daniel Larson through a series of arrests, conflicts, and escalating legal troubles that ultimately landed him in jail.
Relax, Daniel. Relax. You're under arrest. You got a warrant for your arrest. Relax.
Okay.
Relax. Deep breath. Calm down. We're good.
It's gonna be okay, buddy. We're gonna figure out the warrant, okay?
It's a probation warrant. All right. So just relax. Everything's okay. You're gonna be okay.
After his release, Daniel briefly tried to regain some sense of normalcy, but as always, trouble wasn't far behind.
Alright, Daniel. So here's what's going on, okay?
In this fifth and final installment of the docuseries, things take a much more serious turn. Daniel's repeated arrests and mounting legal challenges mark the start of an era in the Larsonverse where the stakes are higher than they have ever been before. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the Daniel Larson Documentary, Part 5. As March began, Daniel came out of Boulder County Jail insisting he had become a changed man, though how genuine that claim actually was remained to be seen. On the second, barely a full day after stepping back into the world, he immediately dove back into his usual online shenanigans. He set up a fresh TikTok account under the handle Daniel Larson Free 2024, urging viewers to follow him and restore the audience that he thought he had lost behind bars. He confirmed his recent release from jail and noted that he had purchased a new phone with funds earned from his music distribution. Yet a new problem appeared almost immediately. His debit card had been locked due to inactivity.
Yesterday, after I got released from the Boulder County Jail, I bought myself a new phone with my music distribution sales income. Alrighty, so it is my first full day out of jail, March 2nd, 2024, and my debit card has been locked because I haven't used it in a month.
Unfazed, he announced plans to visit the bank on Monday or Tuesday, confident that he would straighten it all out. Despite the issue, Daniel insisted that he remained on track to finally secure an apartment, one of his many long-sought goals. Until that came through, he focused on getting a hotel room, at least for the short term. The following days saw Daniel scrambling to maintain some semblance of stability while navigating a string of challenges. Despite this, he managed to attend a probation meeting, ride buses, and attempt to contact his probation officer, all while chronicling his movements online. His updates ranged from mundane errands to startling claims, including an allegation of being raped while incarcerated, which unsettled his followers. Between train rides, expensive meals, and canceled errands, Daniel remained focused on booking hotels and reiterated his goal of securing permanent housing by the end of the month, determined to avoid homelessness or further legal trouble. On March 6th, Daniel found himself being refused service at multiple restaurants. Despite insisting that he had money, the staff turned him away.
Alrighty, so I just got kicked out of a restaurant and refused service even though I have money.
He documented the humiliation with selfies outside various stores and a bus, broadcasting these denials as if to prove he wasn't imagining them. At this point, it seems like stuff like this was Daniel's everyday reality. Even if he had cash on hand, his reputation or something else would keep getting him ejected from places that had once been mundane stops. On the 7th, a probation meeting and a poorly attended fan meetup in Boulder left Daniel grasping at optimism. However, things seemed to shift on the next day when his probation was suddenly canceled and he celebrated with a haircut as well as his plans for an apartment. But the momentum didn't last. Over the next few days, he shared ambitious claims, modeling for Denver Fashion Week, lawsuits against Larson Coin, and meeting Grace Vanderwall's family, all while still struggling with his basic needs.
The Vanderwalls and I are filing a lawsuit against Larson Coin for stealing my likeness and making money off of it.
On March 12th, Daniel claimed to receive just $5 instead of his Interscope paycheck, but also managed to secure a hotel for the night. The following day, he went live 4 times, but not too long after, Daniel would reveal tighter probation restrictions that barred him from being able to leave Colorado or use Amtrak. But on the 15th, Daniel announced that he was in transitional housing for the next month.
This message is to let everybody know I am safe and in transitional housing for the next month.
Just a couple days later, Daniel's attempts at a fan meetup at Pearl Street Mall spiraled into total humiliation. He claimed that a middle schooler approached him for a photo, but was turned away after Daniel doubted he could afford the $20 fee. On his way to the mall, trolls escalated their harassment by attempting to dump soda on him. Visibly agitated, he went live to vent, expressing anger at trolls for taking photos of him without permission, and taking his frustration out at Grace Vanderwall for ignoring his calls.
So there was a middle schooler that showed up at the fan meetup, told me he had $20 to take a picture. I looked at him, saw how old he was, and I was like, I don't believe you. That's what I was thinking in my mind. So I turned down the photo. Okay. And I keep on walking. Okay. At that point, he starts following me. Around that time, there were 2 other people. Because I was down at the Boulder County Library. There was 2 other people down on Pearl Street Mall that come up to me. And one of them was carrying a cup of what looked to be soda and tried to pour it on me again. And at that point, I started running, and now I'm not even sure where I am. But if you guys are going to be trying to take pictures, you might as well just pay for them.
Later that day, he was kicked out of an IHOP and trespassed, only to be harassed again when a troll poured water on him, capturing the moment from multiple angles. One video showed a close-up of Daniel being completely soaked, jumping in shock as the troll walked away.
No.
Now, in order to understand the next sequence of events in this timeline, it's best you guys get a better understanding as to who exactly Dylan Clark is. Not to be confused with Clark, who I covered in the previous installment of this docuseries, Dylan Clark, better known in the Daniel Larson community as Mr. Interview, is quite the divisive figure, most notorious for his complicated relationship with Daniel, as well as his troubling past. Initially emerging during Daniel's CU Boulder era, Dylan claimed the role of Daniel's manager while enabling him with items like money and pizza. However, Dylan's history stretches far beyond his interactions with Daniel. In fact, at the age of 17, he was arrested for making a string of horrifying and threatening calls to schools affected by mass shootings, including Sandy Hook and Columbine, going as far as to name individual victims. Dylan would go on to claim that these actions were simply just a cry for help, stemming from bullying on Facebook, although he was ultimately charged with false report or threat of terrorism. Despite his conviction, Dylan maintains that he was framed, a claim met with widespread skepticism. Dylan's involvement in the Daniel Larson community has only fueled controversy, of course, just like Clark. Notably, he recorded and released a series of videos, known as the Larson tapes, featuring interviews with Daniel. One such instance occurred on January 3rd, 2024, when Dylan, despite shelter rules prohibiting recording, conducted a 45-minute-long interview with Daniel at a homeless shelter, streamed via the Daniel Larson Wiki Discord server. While feeding community intrigue, this act certainly showed just how willing Dylan Clark was to cross ethical boundaries for the sake of content. But anyways, picking back up to the main story. On the 18th of March, an altercation would ensue between Daniel and Dylan following a conflict, culminating in Daniel's 45-day suspension from the shelter.
Alrighty, so I got banned on the 45-day ban, which is pretty much till May. The Boulder shelter because of Dylan and his attack on me last night. Apparently, when I reported it to the staff at the shelter, Dylan lied and said impersonator. I'm not quite sure, but he then tried to frame me and said that it was an impersonator making it and that I was making it, claiming to be him and all this weird stuff. And the shelter decided that they were just going to permanently ban me, I guess, until further notice, which is now a violation of probation again.
Left back on the streets, Daniel posted screenshots of alleged threats from Discord, including one from someone claiming to be Maddie Boyce, heightening his paranoia. He responded by calling his probation officer Joe, leaving a voicemail detailing the incident and accusing Dylan of trying to get him permanently banned from the shelter. The next morning, Daniel Larson would go live on YouTube for what would be the final time before he would eventually get arrested again. By mid-morning, between 10 a.m. and noon, Daniel was apprehended at the Flatiron Crossing Mall in Broomfield, Colorado, on charges of being a fugitive of justice from another state. Witnesses, including a Reddit user who posted photos of the arrest, reported seeing police detain him at the mall. This wasn't the first time that Daniel had faced similar charges, and he had also been arrested just a month earlier under the same statute. Alongside the fugitive charge, he also faced 2 counts of trespassing and 1 for criminal mischief, bringing his total bond to $1,125. Daniel was initially booked at the Broomfield County Detention Center before being transferred to Jefferson County Jail the following day. By April 3rd, body cam footage of the arrest surfaced online, revealing police discussing Daniel's prior record, which included terroristic threats from earlier incidents.
The cop wants to talk to you.
Oh, sure.
You know me, right?
Yeah,
I got a beard now. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I was just on the phone with my PO.
Okay. So here's what's going on, okay? You do have warrants, okay?
I'm aware.
You got 5 of them, all right? 1 you're gonna be arrested on today, okay?
Okay.
And then we're gonna contact Jeffco, and they're probably gonna extradite you on the other ones, okay?
Okay.
right.
I am aware of
Okay.
the one.
I don't want your bags.
You can just leave it right there.
Okay.
We'll end up putting you can put your phone already in the bag if you like,
Sure.
because we're gonna end up putting it in the bag anyways, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead and stand up for me, okay?
Sure.
I got you. Help you out on the other hand.
Back for me.
Wonder who that is.
That's the.
No, I'm talking about the.
Oh yeah. Alright, you have anything on you that's gonna poke me, prick me, stick me, or anything like that?
I don't. I
Alright,
just have
we're gonna
a
walk
yeah.
down here, okay? It's easier than walking up in the mud.
Okay.
We're gonna be face this flag right here, okay?
Okay.
Go and spread your feet for me. And so you have nothing on you that's gonna poke me, prick me, stick me, but I'm gonna put your jacket here.
I don't.
Just 2 days later, on March 21st, Daniel appeared in court to address the arrest warrant tied to his probation violation. His probation was briefly revoked before being reinstated, allowing him to secure his release.
All right, Mr. Larson, is there anything you'd like to say in addition to what Mr. Gerby has told me? I will let you know that I'm inclined to go along with the agreement to revoke and reinstate your probation with the same terms and conditions. I'm also willing to authorize transfer of probation to Boulder. However, you need to arrange that through Jeffco probation. So I'll order that you report to Jeffco probation. Today, if you get out in time before 5 o'clock, come to the courthouse, go to probation on the second floor and check in with them. I'm going to authorize that probation be transferred to Boulder, but it's your responsibility to make sure that Jeffco arranges that on your behalf. Is there anything in addition that you would like to know or say, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Please take advantage of those resources. I will revoke and reinstate your probation with the same terms and conditions. I'll authorize transfer of probation to Boulder to be arranged through Jeffco probation. I'll order that you report to probation no later than by tomorrow, Friday, March 22nd. But ideally today, you'll check in with them, talk to them about your desire to transfer probation to Boulder and follow their directions, okay? Mainly stay in touch with them. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good luck, Mr. Larson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just 2 days after his court appearance and release, on March 23rd, Daniel's escalating stress would come to a head during a TikTok Live meltdown that quickly spiraled out of control. Though the exact trigger is unclear, it was likely the result of relentless harassment by trolls who were actively pursuing him at the time. During the live stream, Daniel appeared visibly distressed, hitting himself in the head and making crazy threats. Among them were bomb threats directed at the FBI headquarters, as well as violent threats towards Tina and Grace Vanderwall. These alarming statements prompted TikTok to terminate the stream and suspend Daniel's ability to go live on the platform. Daniel's paranoia and agitation were evident as he referenced being chased by about 10 teenagers from CU University, a group he believed had attacked him days earlier.
The FBI can go ahead and press legal charges on me. I will just kill their ass. I'm being chased by a group of about 10 teenagers that go to CU University. The same, or one of the groups that attacked me a couple days ago. They're trying to...
Following the meltdown on the 25th, Daniel attended a court hearing and streamed his train ride back, then making a rare charitable gesture, buying cheesecake for a homeless man and giving him a business card for housing resources.
In Golden, Colorado, if you go to this address, they will be able to help you out getting resources. In Golden, Colorado. And you could keep the card, so you know the address. What? Okay, so this is going to be in downtown Golden. Yeah, it's the municipal building, the police station. But they will be able to help you get housing, resources, food. Yes. Do you want this? I don't need it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
There you go.
But then his posts very soon turned strange. He then uploaded fabricated leaked calls and AI-generated videos of Jacob Sartorius mocking him, claiming Grace no longer wanted him due to his criminal record.
Fuck you, Daniel Larson. I have been having sex with Grace while you have been rotting in jail. She doesn't want to be with you if you are going to be a criminal, She is my girlfriend now, so get over it, you little pussy-ass bitch.
What's up, guys? Grace Vanderwall wants me to come over and give her my big dick.
I love you, Jacob. You are so much better of a boyfriend than Daniel Larson.
I love you too, Grace. I'm glad I can be better than your ex-boyfriend, Daniel Larson. I love you, Grace.
Peace.
The next day, his TikTok account was banned. The day after that, on March 27th, he live-streamed himself on his way to court for the Olive Garden incident, arriving 4 hours late and missing the hearing entirely. His uploads that day ranged from wildlife videos to mistaken beliefs about celebrity homes, all while making vague claims about contracts with Columbia Records and an ongoing drama with Grace. Just a couple days later, Daniel would embark on a 70-mile trek from Denver, Colorado to Colorado Springs.
Alrighty. So I'm about halfway to my stop for tonight. It is noon, slightly after noon, 12 o'clock noon. I've been walking since 6 a.m. this morning from Castle Rock. I am heading into Colorado Springs. This is the view from Monument Hill. Well, kind of getting into Monument Hill. Heading into the town of Larksburg. And then the town after that is Monument. And they're pretty close together, within just like 2 miles or something. So yeah, I looked at Google Maps. It is saying I'm expected to get to my destination by 9 p.m. tonight in Colorado Springs. I will see you all soon.
The month ended with a hospital visit on March 31st due to an unspecified health issue. And who would have guessed, April would not begin on a positive note for Daniel. On the 2nd of the month, just days after completing his exhausting 70-mile walk from Denver to Colorado Springs, Daniel would be arrested again, this time for being, once again, a fugitive from justice. You're starting to see a recurring pattern here. While returning to Denver by bus, Daniel went live on social media, completely unaware that police were actively searching for him. Shortly after he ended the stream, the bus was stopped in Lone Tree, Colorado, and Daniel was taken into custody. The arrest stemmed from a warrant issued in Jefferson County for missing his March 27th court date, which violated the terms of his probation. He was booked into the Douglas County Detention Facility with a bond set at $1,500. The following day, April 3rd, Daniel appeared virtually in court for the Jefferson County warrant. After spending just one night in jail, his shortest stint yet, he was released. This also just so happened to be on the same day that the body cam footage from his March 19th arrest was made public. This would also end up being Daniel's 4th arrest in the year 2024, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. Over the next couple of days, Daniel's focus shifted to promoting his song Something More on streaming platforms. Things didn't really seem too out of the ordinary for Daniel. However, that was until April 6th, 2024, which stands out as one of the most infamous days in Daniel Larson's entire history, remembered for not one, but 2 significant meltdowns. The first meltdown, which occurred at around 4 p.m. Daniel's time, was a volatile outburst fueled by a combination of factors. One, being kicked out of a Buffalo Wild Wings due to a troll-fabricated job interview, and 2, a confrontation with a troll impersonating Bob Proctor. In the live stream titled "Bob Help Me Now," Daniel's rage boiled over as he screamed gutturally, made violent threats, and even used racial slurs. At one point, he threatened to bomb Bob's house and every police station in the world, along with federal entities like the White House. Obviously, some pretty major shit. The meltdown, occurring in extremely windy conditions, saw Daniel coated in his own saliva and snot, culminating in a very intense moment where he mimicked dropping a bomb just as a gust of wind swept through.
Fuck you, Bob! Fuck you! I will bomb your house till the day you fucking die! Bomb you! Bomb you! Bomb you! Bomb you! Kill you! Kill you! Kill you! Call the feds on me, you fucking liar! Bomb! 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 Bomb you! Bomb you! Bomb you! Kill! 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 This is a message to every fucking police in the world. Fucking kill, kill, kill. Kill. Murder. This is the message to the fucking feds. You fucking don't listen to me, I will fucking kill you too. Murder. Bomb you. The fucking White House too. Bomb you. Go ahead and ban my channel. Make sure I'm homeless for the rest of my fucking life. You did this to yourself, bitch. You did this all to your fucking self. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. Kill, 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 kill. This is a message to Daniel McDougall. You didn't listen to Bob and me, and this is what you get.
Of course, YouTube would end up quickly removing the 5-minute stream due to its extreme content, but shortly after, Daniel had a second, less intense meltdown at the end of a 30-minute live stream titled Daniel Larson 20 Miles to Boulder, Colorado. This time, his frustration seemed to stem from trolls commenting on his stream, and possibly tracking his location, though this may have been more paranoia than reality. He ended the stream right after angrily flipping off the camera and cursing at Bob. Adding to the day's issues was Daniel's ongoing battle with Trenchfoot, which he had already been documenting with very graphic photos and recordings. Despite the pain, he continued walking long distances in the freezing weather, including this 20-mile trek to Boulder for an upcoming court appearance. The combination of physical discomfort, relentless trolling, and his own mental challenges made April 6th an absolute breaking point moment in Larsonian history, leaving behind some of the most extreme examples of Daniel's mental health struggles ever recorded. And of course, immediately following this meltdown, Daniel's absolutely unhinged, insane behavior continued. He announced an audition the next day, but quickly became upset during a live stream, cutting it short after complaining about harassment from trolls.
Yep, I'm blocking everybody in this chat for harassment.
Not too long after, he arrived at court early and secured a hotel room with the help of followers. It was around this time that Daniel created a private TikTok account, Daniel Larson LBI, promoted his music, and accidentally leaked his phone number, which led to him doxing others on his YouTube page. To make matters worse, a hospital visit for suspected food poisoning on the 12th revealed a diagnosis of delusional ideas, which he shared online. By mid-April, Daniel's behavior remained as scattered as ever, with conflicting stories, new claims, and daily live streams. He skipped yet another probation appointment, citing reasons that ranged from a family emergency to a lack of a bus fare, but later claimed probation was helping him secure housing. He continued to post videos, often detailing mundane activities like walking long distances or picking up groceries, while also making dramatic statements about his legal battles, his ambitions in Hollywood, and supposed threats from trolls and authorities. Despite Bob Proctor seemingly cutting ties with him months ago, Daniel would repeatedly mention him, treating him as both a mentor and a source of blame for his setbacks. It would inevitably get the community to wonder if Bob Proctor was actually in Daniel's life this whole time. But for the time being, it remained just speculation. Throughout the week, Daniel would create new TikTok accounts, shift focus to meals and hotel stays, and stage impromptu fan meetups, often with little turnout. He would also end up losing his state ID card, but insisted that he was still close to getting his life back on track, even claiming Grace Vanderwall had addressed him in a TikTok reply. Meals, small donations from followers, and odd encounters dominated his posts, including an accusation of theft at a fan meetup and an alleged ticket for a probation violation after a manager claimed he had dined and dashed. Even with his setbacks like Trenchfoot as well as his looming court date, Daniel continued to upload selfies, taunt the trolls, and insist that he was preparing for something bigger, while relying heavily on donations and his audience for day-to-day survival. It wasn't until April 25th that something major would finally happen again. A federal warrant was issued for Daniel Larson's arrest, though the following day passed without much incident. Things started to take a turn on April 27th when Daniel would end up being kicked out of the Pump House restaurant in Longmont by police. The very next day, he would repeat the pattern again, this time at a Buffalo Wild Wings, ordering over $53 worth of food without any way to pay. As he always does, he live streamed the whole ordeal, venting about donations coming in through TikTok, but his inability to actually access the funds.
Also, you guys can't tell me what to do. I am my own person. So everybody in the comments saying run and they're behind you. Nobody's behind me. And I'm my own guardian, so I can do whatever the heck I want. Oh, by the way, thank you once again for the close to $200 in gifts that I can't cash out. So like I said, if you guys are willing to send $200 in gifts when you guys know I can't cash it out right now, you guys can easily pay my bill. Oh, and thank you for another gift. This is so funny watching you guys fuck up. This is gonna be funny when YouTubers are covering this tonight. How about you guys post what I just said to the subreddit? The subreddit would have a fit. We would go viral.
Okay, if you don't get payment, don't come back. Alright? I don't want to see your face here again. Because it's twice.
Okay, because I was gonna have somebody pay. I'm just
making sure you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I'm aware. Alrighty. So you guys heard the man. The person in the comments who just called me a girl, don't ever call me a girl. Good thing the FBI is watching. They're gonna really have a fit with this video. Look at all you guys exposing yourselves for complete, utterly being idiots in the comment section. Once again, for everybody who is spamming me, okay, once again, for everybody spamming me, hundreds of dollars in gifts, like I said, if you guys can do that, you guys can have no problem paying the bill. You guys know my situation. This shouldn't be an issue. And because Jacob Sartorius, another flipping celebrity, decided he was going to steal my ID, which is a crime. That's a federal crime, actually. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't do anything. And with my popularity and you guys willing to send donations, you guys just want to manipulate everything. So yes, I'm calling out my fan base. So now that you guys are exposed, I will be happy to leave. And next time when I come in here, I will pay before I come in. And I will use the app. So. Oh, wow. Yep, there's more gifts. You guys at least sent me like 50 gifts in a span of less than a minute. I hope you guys know that roses are like literally 10 cents each. 9, oh, 3, 10. Wow, yep. Like I said, you guys can definitely you guys can definitely pay my bill. You guys just want to manipulate everything for views. I support Biden on the TikTok ban.
But what happened at the end of the month caught both Daniel and his community completely off guard, a turning point in Larsonian history that many would later call the beginning of the end of Daniel Larson. Let's rewind to July 2023, just after the dog arc, when the story of Daniel Larson took a darker, more serious turn. By this time, Daniel's behavior had already begun raising alarm bells with law enforcement, but it was his escalating pattern of threats that put him directly on the radar of Secret Service agent Daniel McDougal. For months, many in the community dismissed McDougal as another troll fabrication. but it wasn't until much later that his existence and his role in investigating Daniel was confirmed to be very much real. McDougal's involvement began after Daniel threatened to blow up the White House, an outburst that came on the heels of a public meltdown at Walmart, triggered by the removal of Daniel's dog, Music.
My entire family is in danger, and no one believes what we are saying. My entire family is now famous. All of our houses have been doxxed. We are homeless, and my fans are doxing, getting criminal charges on us that are all false. We will take this all the way to fucking Supreme Court. We are not playing around. We have contacted security companies and they've all refused to work with us because they don't believe what we are saying about our popularity. I am done, and I will not stop until the White House is blown up.
From that point forward, McDougal personally warned Daniel multiple times to stop making threats towards people, businesses, and government agencies. Yet, Daniel not only ignored these warnings, but escalated his behavior even further, going so far as to threaten McDougal himself. This level of defiance prompted law enforcement to actually build a case against him, culminating in interviews with figures close to Daniel. These testimonies, combined with a mountain of evidence from social media activity, were enough to solidify their case. By the time a federal warrant was issued on April 25th, Daniel's behavior had spiraled even further. Despite the growing legal pressure, he continued to rack up incidents, including being kicked out of multiple restaurants just days after the warrant was issued. Daniel's habit of making threats had been building for years, with law enforcement speculating he had made over 100 since 2021. This investigation into Daniel included several alarming incidents. The July 3rd community tab post threatening to bomb Spotify's headquarters and a courthouse, the August 29th meltdown where he threatened to bomb the White House and every police station in the country, and the Christmas Day meltdown where he threatened to kill Daniel McDougal himself. Perhaps most shocking was a bomb threat directed at DDRC, which is a nonprofit that had once helped house Daniel and is a recurring mention in a lot of Daniel's videos. This threat in particular forced the evacuation of the building and a search by bomb-sniffing dogs. By April 29th, Daniel's presence online had just come to a sudden stop. His final post stated that he was on a bus heading back to Boulder, but for someone who's so deeply entrenched in his online persona, the abrupt silence felt ominous, leaving the community wondering what might come next. The signs were all there, but the true scope of what was about to unfold remained just out of view. Daniel Larson's fifth and final arrest of 2024, and hopefully final arrest for a long time, took place on April 30th during a probation meeting, where he was immediately booked into the Jefferson County Detention Facility. This time, there was no bail. Initially, his charge was listed as courtesy housing for another agency, and the next day he was transferred to Clear Creek County Jail. At first, the community assumed that this was just another probation violation. By then, Daniel being arrested for this had become almost routine. It was standard. However, everything changed on May 1st, when Daniel called his manager, Clark, from jail and dropped a bombshell.
You may start the conversation now. Hello?
Jesus Christ, Daniel.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you, bud?
Oh my god. I'm doing okay. The feds pretty much got me.
The feds got you?
This time the feds got me. And Bob told me that it wasn't going to happen and he didn't believe me. And I went to probation yesterday, and sure enough, the feds were there, and they charged me with 7 counts of threats from the threats that I made.
7 counts of threats?
And Associates.
Yep, under federal court.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So this shit.
And not only that, the feds apparently are looking into Bob for his finances, and the feds are also on top of that
So they think Bob was also committing fraud as well?
They think that he's committing fraud. I did also talk to the public defender. I have court on Monday. Okay, and it is federal court. They were saying that I'm a slight risk if all the garbage, that they're gonna say. Okay. But they're looking at trying to put me in,
Property of Larson
basically higher security company.
Jeez.
So it would basically be basic housing, just like if I got released.
So are the charges like threats against the government or something? Like those?
I guess they're considering, they're calling it interstate threat. They're saying that a threat is interstate threat. They're not calling it like terrorist threats. They're not saying anything like that. But they are saying their biggest concern is apparently ADRC. They had to fully evacuate.
Recorded by Clark and Associates.
And after like comments you made one time, they had to evacuate like the whole building or something.
Yep, and they brought in bomb sniffing dogs.
Jesus Christ.
Because like ADRC just took Associates. Which proves kind of how stupid they are. Because they know me so well that like they know I'm not gonna do that. It's kind of ridiculous.
Like, why would they even waste their time? They know who you are.
Right. Like, they know who I am. I don't know why they're gonna waste their time.
This revelation sent shockwaves throughout the entire community. Documents later confirmed the charges, which included 6 counts of use or threatened use of explosive, and 1 count of interstate communication of threats. The maximum sentence for these charges totaled 65 years. What initially seemed like just another minor arrest quickly escalated into the most serious situation Daniel had ever faced in his life. Ironically, he finally got the mainstream attention he had sought for years, though not necessarily in the way that he had wanted. Social media exploded with discussions, and news outlets began covering the story. It was as if Daniel's plot armor, as fans called it, had finally run out. Daniel was assigned a public defender due to his lack of funds, Jared Scott Westbrook. According to Daniel, his attorney argued that he couldn't have carried out the threats due to lacking the resources to properly act upon them, pushing for his release.
They're saying that yes, I would be facing prison time if convicted, but my public defender was saying that with me being almost 5 years and being out cold weather to the point where I feel like I'm gonna die and I'm panicking. When I panic, I say things that I don't mean. And I didn't mean the threat. I don't know how to make explosives, stuff like that. They said that, well, that is true, and that is, I guess, good defense.
That's perfect to say. I would listen to your public defender because he's 100% right. There's no way you could actually make a bomb or do anything that you said.
Right, and I don't have a violent history like anything like that.
Exactly.
The main concern the judge said is that it's one step away from doing so, and that's their concern. If I get back out, and they're also concerned that if I get back out, I will go back on social media and continue.
Property of Larson League.
Right. And that's what the judge said, and you know what? I'm okay doing a little bit of time. I would rather show I'm gonna be good, than create more issues, right?
I agree. I mean, you did well with your 27 days, so.
Meanwhile, on May 3rd, Clark reported in a Discord server that police officers had shown up at his workplace. This led to widespread speculation that Clark had been arrested as an accomplice in Daniel's case, partly due to an alleged contact with Secret Service agent Daniel McDougal. However, this was all quickly proven false. As if things couldn't get any more embarrassing for Daniel or Clark, on May 12th, Larson Leak Raw would end up releasing a leaked phone call from 6 days prior between the two of them. In the call, Clark finally admitted to Daniel that everything, their relationship, his identity as a manager, and even his supposed support, had all been fake. It had all been an elaborate troll. Clark explained that Daniel's actions had cost him multiple jobs and said that the call was the most important of his life. He made it clear to Daniel that he intended to cut ties for good, telling Daniel that it was time for accountability and change. For Daniel, already isolated and facing the weight of his legal battles, this betrayal was another crushing blow for him.
And follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Okay, Daniel, I need you to listen completely for the next 10 minutes, and I need to talk to you, okay? I need you to not interrupt me, and I need you to be fucking serious right here, because this is probably the only time, it's one of the most important things I'm ever going to tell you. All of this has been, it's fake, man. I mean, I'm not Clark, I'm not a lawyer, I don't work for Interscope. Grace doesn't want to talk to you. There isn't Grace. The only reason Grace knows you is because she thinks either you're a predator and creep, and the only time you've ever talked to Tina was because she was telling you to back away. I mean, it hurts to say UCLA was fake, Interscope was fake. Every single thing that we did, it was fake. I mean, none of that was real, Daniel. I mean, and I can't keep leading you on here. And to be honest, you do need to learn your lesson. And I know we've acted like friends for the past 9 months, but really, you need help. You're a sick guy, man. And I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. And I would see you send those texts to 15-year-old Sky Brown, say your things. You need to get some help. And I'm sorry I had to come like this. And to be honest, I don't think the federal I don't know anything about all that. But this whole time, even the intern, the curly hair kid, I've been working with him the entire time. Flexburger, the entire time. I've been recording everything. We even worked with McDougall for a while. And you just really need to sit your time in jail, and I'm done. It's over, man. There isn't anything else to say. I've been lying to you. I've been faking fucking everything. Grace doesn't even know if she knows who you are, she thinks you're a weirdo. And yeah. And that's pretty much it. You're gonna spend, I don't know how long, 4 to maybe, I would say probably at least a couple years. And I hope when you get out you're changed. But based on what I've seen these last 9 months, you weren't even capable of doing a fake job, Daniel. And I did try it first. I really did try and help you with things. But you've really, and I get some circumstances, but at the same time, you really are a menace to the streets of Colorado. And I am honestly pretty not glad, but at the same time, you do need to have some time to think. And you really don't need to be on social media ever again. This social media shit has killed this is bad. This is all bad. And I know I just came out of nowhere, and honestly, I really don't care because I put up with this shit way too fucking long, and I really think you are a sick man. So I think you need to get some help, and I think you need to listen to your public defender and listen to Daniel McDougall and listen to all that, because I'm a 20-year-old kid from St. Louis from community college, and I know literally nothing. So I am gonna say I won't be answering any more calls anymore. This is probably the last time we'll ever talk, and I do hope Bob forgives you in the future, because you're gonna have a really lonely time if someone doesn't, because I'm done. I can't do this anymore. My whole life got affected too, and it's not even that, but I can't keep pretending to do stuff like this. So it's been a long time coming, Daniel, but if you want to say anything about that, you can. But other than that, it's done, man. I can't do this anymore. I can't keep pretending, you know? But you don't. That's the thing, Daniel. You keep convincing yourself, Grace and all that. It's not, she doesn't want you. Like, I've never talked to her in her life. There was an Australian girl. Why do you think she had that accent? How do you think all our calls end up on the internet, too? Like, how do you even think the kid got your ID? Like, I haven't been honest at all, and I don't really care, to be honest, because I don't think you deserve everything that's happened, but I do agree. Like, I've seen you do things that aren't right. You're not right in the head right now, and I don't know if you ever will be, to be honest. And when I got reached out to stop being a lawyer, we had been emailing McDougall videos and every time you said a threat, we would send it out. And honestly, I didn't know how long it was going to take. I didn't even think it was real at first either. But as it kept coming in, it was. And now, you're fucked. And it's over, you know? I'm sorry. Not really at the same time, because this has been the fucking weirdest 10 months of my life. And I've had to been talking to a pretty much pedophile for that whole time while also hurting my image. I even got fired from my fucking job in real life for this, Daniel. So, I'll let you say a couple more things, but after this, I'm gonna stop the calls at all. And honestly, I do hope you get out in at least the next 5-10 years. Maybe you can turn your life around. But at this point, the only reason you're known, the only reason you have fans is because they either want to see you fail or they feel so bad of your existence in life that they just can't help but say, oh, poor Daniel, which at this point, I don't really think any sympathy of you. Even after talking to Bob, you've been a complete asshole for the past 6 months. So you need to learn your lesson, and it's going to be an interesting time, but I'm done. And you're right, my name is Griffin. And if you have anything else to say to me, but I'll be hanging up in probably a minute, or whenever it ends us on. Why would you lie about everything you did? Why would you sext underage girls? Why would you beat Bob? Why would you punch holes in your wall? No, I'm in the middle of the most important call of my life right now.
To be honest, I kind of knew that you were trolling. And that's why I kept questioning everything.
No, I know that, but at the same time, you still kept... Even the kid that cut your hair, the kid that got your ID, the kid that's my friend. Like, every time, I didn't deal with anything.
And I don't think you realize this, but like, ever since then, no wonder didn't want to talk to you. No wonder everything fixed. And I'm gonna be honest, Bob didn't want to talk to you at all. And he wasn't, to be honest, he wouldn't even listen to me. Because of the issues that were going on with your friends.
I agree. But I don't think you're really listening. Like, Daniel, I don't care about any of this Bob suing thing, and you probably shouldn't either. You're facing 7 federal counts. You need to listen to your defender and do your time. Like, you need to stop thinking about, or not thinking about all this, but you need to grow up. That doesn't excuse your countless texts to underage girls, your all your dirty shit that you've done over the years. Like, okay, we can excuse it, and guess what day it is today? May fucking 6th. Isn't that very very ironic, 3 years ago today, and I can even imagine, I know you didn't really decide to do that, but you do know what you're doing. You're smarter than you, not that you act, but you act, you know how to act, and it's really just...
Right. Right. And that is true. That's 100% true. And if you would have been honest, you probably wouldn't have had all these issues. I'm going to be honest too. Most of what I was doing was control because I didn't know what we were doing. Like, nothing was making progress, to be honest. And I didn't know what we were doing. I was arguing with Bob. Bob told me directly if I cut ties with you, he would get me out. Which is why I kept pressing like you were.
And you want to say too, you know, I never gave you any money, and I never helped you out with anything, so I still don't know why you...
And the reason why I stayed in contact is because, I mean, you knew this, I didn't have it. But you were kind of, if you think about it, the only friend that really mattered. Besides, I mean, everybody else.
Yeah, oh, your 70,000 Reddit. That all, I mean, yeah, you're right, and I do regret being super nice to you because I've seen the weird shit that you've done. Even having Grace send me the messages when we're trying to do business, or not even trying to do business, but maybe even help your life a little bit. Oh, does it feel good? Like, I've seen your texts. It's fucking gross, Daniel, and I know you don't know how sex works or what even that is, but like, you need to make, like, you're fucking lucky that you're not getting... And I know you don't look up or whatever, but that's honestly because you're too stupid to figure it out. But at the same time, you're fucking lucky that, like, even that video with Brianna and everything like that, like, you were blatantly asking a 15-year-old for sex even a couple months ago. So you're lucky. But they'll probably figure out in prison, and you're not gonna have that good of a time. So if I were you, I would ask for protective custody or whatever and lay low for the next couple years, because your time on the internet is probably over and it ain't gonna be good from here, especially after this. So I'm sorry, but not really at the same time. And you can say you were trolling and all that, but at the same time, you probably did know parts were fake. But I know for a fact that...
Okay. Well, what I can say as well, because I take accountability for my actions, and I hope you do too.
Okay, well, I can say yes to that, but at the same time, I am glad that someone that's not should be trusted around children and even normal people is not roaming the streets anymore. So you got to know that. I mean, and yeah, I'm not happy about what I've done completely, but I don't think you should be either. So we should both have a long discussion or long thought process. But either way, Daniel, good luck. I'll be watching your trial and everything, but this is the end of us. It's over, man. I do wish you farewell and have a good rest of your stay, but I'm out. See ya. Clark out.
But in typical fashion, Daniel's story did not end there, and partly because Clark might actually be just as impulsive as Daniel. Just 3 days later, Clark reluctantly answered another call from Daniel, seemingly persuaded to give him one last chance. While Clark remained firm, telling Daniel that he needed to apologize to many people, it was clear that their relationship had fractured beyond repair. After this phone call, Daniel would fall silent, with no further communication or updates for nearly 4 months. For the first time, it seemed as though Daniel Larson's voice had truly been silenced, at least for a while. Without any updates directly from Daniel, his story continued to unfold through his legal proceedings. On May 10th, just before Daniel's court hearing, documents revealed that his public defender, Jared Scott Westbrook, had filed a motion requesting for Daniel's release. The motion proposed conditions for his release, including an ankle tracker, mandatory mental health treatment, and placement in a halfway house. However, this motion, as well as another motion filed the day before, were both denied by the judge. The unresolved motion left Daniel in custody, and during his court appearance, he pleaded not guilty to all charges. Daniel's not guilty plea also ensured that he would remain behind bars, with a new trial date set for July 15th. After the hearing, Daniel reportedly told Bob Proctor that nothing was accomplished, according to texts shared by Clark. Daniel also claimed that his court appearance had been leaked, though it was unclear what he meant by this. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bob? Yes, Bob, it's the real Bob. You see, while many in the community had assumed that Daniel's interactions with Bob were just trolls impersonating him, it was revealed during this time that Daniel had actually maintained contact with the real Bob Proctor this whole entire time. Clark later admitted that he had also been in contact with Bob, who had initially believed that Clark was genuinely a friend and manager of Daniel. Despite their history of conflict, it's speculated that Bob remained in contact with Daniel even during his incarceration. Following the May 10th hearing, Judge Norman Reed Neureiter issued an official order of detention, confirming that Daniel would remain in custody and mandating a mental health evaluation. On May 23rd, the court ordered Daniel to undergo this evaluation at a mental health facility, and his July court dates were canceled. By the end of the month, Daniel was transferred to Inglewood Federal Correctional Institution, a facility coincidentally known for housing Jared Fogle, the disgraced former Subway spokesman. This transfer signaled the beginning of what would be a long and uneventful stretch of time behind bars for Daniel, with little to zero news about his life or case emerging for much of the summer. One of the few major developments to occur during the summer came on July 19th, when a psychiatric report revealed that Daniel had actually been deemed incompetent to stand trial, and as a result, he was institutionalized at an undisclosed mental health facility for further evaluation. His September 23rd court date was canceled, and an order issued later in the month stipulated that Daniel would remain institutionalized for up to 4 months. By the time July turned into August and August into September, updates on Daniel Larson's situation became increasingly sporadic. The focus briefly shifted back to Clark, whose role in Daniel's story remained both controversial and divisive. Following the release of Larson Leaks' video exposing Clark's confession call, where he admitted to trolling Daniel and faking his identity as a manager, Clark posted a defensive message on the subreddit, ending it with a dramatic "Clark out." The backlash from the community was intense, dividing opinion on whether his actions were justified or cruel. Despite declaring his retirement from the Larson community, Clark remained loosely involved, feeding content to the community and making a surprise return in September. That month, Larson Leak released another video revealing that Clark and Daniel had resumed contact. On September 7th, Daniel called Clark from federal prison, marking their first conversation in nearly 4 months. Daniel revealed that he had been in protective custody and might be transferred to a psychiatric facility in another state. Unsurprisingly, Daniel still clung to delusions about Grace Vanderwall, despite Clark explicitly telling him months earlier that their entire relationship was imaginary.
Dang, Daniel, how you doing?
Absolutely terrible. So my lawyer, my public defender, okay, is with the public defender's office, okay? A federal public defender's office out of Denver, Colorado. And his name is Jared. He is saying I'm incompetent and I'm going to get transferred to a psychiatric facility. He's naming 5 different ones. One in South Carolina, which doesn't make sense. I'm being told I would be moving to either South Carolina or Missouri, New York City or New York, somewhere in New York, San Diego, or Seattle.
What the hell? Missouri.
Bob doesn't want me leaving the state. Okay? There's no time frame on when I'm going to get transferred. The paperwork got submitted to the court over 2 months ago. So I'm just sitting and just waiting right now.
It's terrible.
And I have a legal phone call with my lawyer today, and I am being told by Bob, and I'm also thinking that, like, why am I just sitting here? Like, they either need to get me transferred, or at this point, give me time served and get me out. Because I mean, threats, it's not like I acted on them. I was homeless and I was demanding help. So where is the actual issue there? There isn't.
You're right. They're just, I mean, they took advantage of a, I mean, I really don't understand either. I mean, has McDougal even tried to talk to you since then? Or McDougal?
No, he hasn't. And he also told me, he promised me that Grace and I would be having the wedding.
Why don't
he's promised me stuff now that is just not even happening. And then he was trying to accuse me of things that it's like there's absolutely zero evidence of.
Yeah, like the child...
the child molesting thing, which there's absolutely no evidence, so that never even went through, because they just don't have evidence.
This call is from a federal prison.
And then, also they were trying to accuse Bob of raping me.
What the hell?
Yeah, they were trying to straight up accuse Bob and then lie to me just to get Bob arrested for sex crimes. Like, if you are going to continue to do that, there's going to be further issues.
Ooh.
Because it's straight up just, like, not okay. You know? Especially if they're saying it happened to me, and I absolutely know that is false information that they're saying is just ridiculous.
I mean, they're just... I mean, I'm surprised they haven't arrested me and other people and tried to accuse me of things.
Right.
Why did that? So you got... So all of July you were in the SHU, right?
I was in the SHU, yes.
The SHU, Special Housing Unit for high-risk inmates.
All of July.
Pretty much. What happened? Did someone try and fight you, you said?
Somebody was trying to fight me. People were calling into the jail, apparently, like, to the actual, like, facility, sending threats to me. And so I was getting pretty much attacked for people calling in. And I'm like, guys, like, I'm famous. It's not my problem. Like, there's nothing I can do.
Dang, so then did they put you in protective custody?
I've been in protective custody on 22-hour lockdown a day for over 2 months now. Like, going on 3 months.
What do you do all day?
Either sleep or just read books. And people are still saying I don't know how to read books when I do. So that's another thing that's pissing me off, is like people are accusing me of not knowing how to read, and they don't even know if I can or can't.
What?
So they don't even have a say.
The cops were saying that, or like the inmates, or just...
Everybody.
Jeez, yeah, that's...
And then other people inside the jail, inmates and COs, keep coming up to me, like, joking around about Grace, saying, oh, I'm in contact with her now, I'm dating her.
Jeez.
And all that's doing is that's getting me angry. You know, it's like, okay, like, do you have their number? Because I have their number. I'm not, like, I don't have it, you know, straight on me, but it's in my legal discovery. It's just blocked out. You know what I mean? Like, I have more than enough proof right now. I'm pretty sure you don't. You know, and they're just creating all these random arguments with me.
I mean, they could look you up and see that you're in there for, like, huge charges. Those people are probably in there for, like, like, the jail you're in has a lot of pedophiles and stuff, like that Subway guy.
Right, but the thing is, my charges are not that big.
Exactly.
If you really think about it. They're small compared to a lot of these other people.
True. It's true.
You know, I'm basically right now just serving time. That's all it is.
What books have you been reading? Did you get it from like commissary or something?
No, there's a library here. I got a bunch of, I guess, like 2 or 3 books. I've been reading like fairy tale stuff, vampire stuff.
Ooh, that's good.
But anyways, apparently Bob is all pissed off about what's going on with Grace. He's like, okay, so we know that Grace is involved. Why not helping? Like, why is she not getting you out? You know, like, she's a millionaire. She should be able to just, you know, get you right out and get you on the record deal. Why is she not helping? He's pissed off. And I probably shouldn't say this because I don't want to piss you off, but Bob is at the same time kind of upset at you.
This call is from a federal prison.
You got me in contact with the other person who claimed to be Grace, right? We know that. You got me in contact with the person claiming to be Tina and the person claiming to be Grace. I don't know right now if that was real or fake. But what I do know is when they told me that they were in contact with the FBI, okay, one thing I can confirm is what they were saying is true in my legal discovery.
That's true. Yeah, your legal discovery. I haven't been able to see that, but what else?
Right. But my legal discovery straight up has conversations with the verified Tina, Grace's mother, where it's straight up talking about being in contact with me and saying Grace is not dating you, she's not aware of you. But then what I find weird is there's a straight up letter that got sent to the homeless shelter where it straight up is from the real Dave. And Dave, as we know, was wanting the relationship and the wedding all along. He has no problem with it, as we know, right?
Yeah, I mean, assuming so, yeah.
Right. And so the thing is, he is the one that apparently sent the letter. And now they're all saying, including Grace, that none of that ever happened.
Jeez.
And there's like literal proof, like it came from their address. So who here is lying?
It's all confusing, and then
Whoever this Grace is, which is, from my understanding, the real Grace, is in my legal discovery, which straight up, it's the same stuff that you were saying when I was in contact with you prior to my arrest. So the information I'm being given, right, is making me sound crazy. And
This call is from a federal prison.
It's pissing everybody off. You see what I mean?
yeah, I mean, and they keep pushing back your trial.
And they keep pushing back my trial. So who is doing that? You know, like at this point, I don't know why I'm not just out, you know, and they get me housing. You know, like wherever I'm supposed to go.
I mean,
you know, I mean, what could also be going on too is, I mean, all the shootings and stuff.
Yeah.
They could be just saying threats are just one step away from the actual doing. The thing is, I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
Get out of here!
I'm not gonna just act on it. I was demanding help, and I even have proof in my legal discovery of me demanding help, going to hospitals. Nobody once ever did anything. Now they're doing kind of the same thing, but just holding me here. When are things going to progress and actually get better? I don't see it happening anytime soon.
And I'm guessing, do they not have tablets in this one like that other?
No, but anyways, I gotta go.
Okay.
Our time's almost up.
Okay.
I'll have to call you back.
One more thing. Try and write down some lyrics, because next time we call, maybe you can like sing over the phone or something.
I don't know. We'll figure something out, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Court documents filed on September 25th demanded Daniel's transfer to a psychiatric facility by early November and stated his case would be dismissed if this didn't happen. Daniel's attorney argued that his extended jail time was due to a lack of available beds in mental health facilities. By early October, the court confirmed that Daniel's 4-month psychiatric evaluation would begin in December, with plans to transfer him to Springfield, Missouri, for reassessment in April 2025. However, jail staff claimed at the time that Daniel's transfer was unlikely due to continued bed shortages, and that if he wasn't moved by December 31st, his case could be dismissed, resulting in his release. During this time, another figure entered the Larsonverse. Nicholas, also known as Lil Sippy. On October the 7th of 2024, Lil Sippy revealed himself through 2 phone calls with Daniel. In these calls, Daniel complained about his lack of communication with his lawyer and expressed frustration about his family's lack of support. His delusion seemed to intensify, claiming that Donald Trump had offered him the vice presidency and that Grace VanderWaal's songs were written about him.
You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Daniel Larson.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. You may begin speaking now.
Hello?
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, so, I called back.
This call is from
Daniel Larson.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. You may begin speaking now.
Hi, Daniel.
Hello, this is Daniel Larson.
What's going on, Daniel? How you doing, man?
Hi, I'm doing okay. My lawyer hasn't been getting back to me at all. I haven't spoken to him since early August.
Okay, I was looking on Pacer, and the prosecution has filed a new thing in your case, a new document in your case that says you'll probably be in Springfield by December.
Yes, that is correct. And also my lawyer, for some reason, has been, like, the last time I talked to him, which was early August, right? He told me that I was never in contact with the VanderWaals or the label, which is false.
You said...
Because I was in contact with Grace before, and her mother.
So you said that there's something in your discovery for your legal cases confirmed that you were talking to the VanderWaals or something?
Yes.
Okay. So we can lower the age?
So apparently, I'm still learning this, but one of the correction officers came up to me here at the jail and talked to me about how Donald Trump wanted me to be his vice president, because if he becomes president and I'm vice president, he can make it legal.
Lil Sippy, a troubled individual himself, also has a history of legal issues, including charges for physical abuse of a child, firearm possession, as well as bail jumping. Despite his own insane background, Sippy and Daniel struck up a strange friendship, communicating frequently throughout October. Sippy even leaked what appeared to be a letter from Daniel filled with bizarre sexual questions and delusional ramblings. While some questioned the letter's authenticity, later calls and interactions suggested that it was likely real. As October progressed, Daniel's delusions worsened. He claimed that Taylor Swift wanted him to join her Eras tour, only to insist that he declined the offer, and he also continued to speak of Interscope Records and LBI Entertainment as if they were actively involved in his career, despite all evidence to the contrary. He blamed Bob and his family for his current situation, and insisted that he would focus on his music and acting after his release, ignoring the trolls that had haunted him for years. Alright, Daniel, well, let's see how that works out. By the end of October, Daniel remained stuck in limbo, awaiting a transfer that seemed increasingly unlikely to actually happen. His calls with Sippy alternated between bizarre fantasies and complaints about his public defender's lack of communication, and pretty soon those letters and calls started to become much more frequent. On November 9th, Daniel called Lil Sippy and claimed that he was suing the US government. Just days later, on November 12th, a call with Clark took a bizarre turn as Daniel alleged that Bob Proctor and the Vanderwalls were framing him. These claims only became more convoluted as Daniel's frustration grew, particularly during a birthday call with Lil Sippy on November 15th, where he expressed anger about spending his 26th birthday in jail.
Hey, isn't today your birthday?
Today's my birthday, yeah, and I was told by Grace back in January I would be living with her. So I'm pissed, but that's besides the point.
Well, happy birthday. I sent you a card. I don't know if you got it yet, but...
I haven't gotten it yet, but everything is just a big fat lie at this point. I don't fucking know. I'm sitting in jail on my fucking birthday. This is now the 15th birthday I've spent behind bars. I'm just to a point I'm pissed off, so...
Are you still getting out, like you said, on the 25th, or...?
I don't know. The last I heard here at the jail, it still says I'm in a holdover status. Meaning that the holdover doesn't mean I'm being transferred. The holdover is we're waiting until somebody comes forward and says something. Which is bullshit, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I have to go, okay?
Alright. Are you gonna call early in the morning like this now?
Until tomorrow, and then it switches back until the afternoon.
Okay. Alright. Talk soon.
Alright, bye.
Tensions continued to escalate during a phone call on the 16th when Daniel got into an argument with a fellow inmate.
Jeez. That was scary.
I know.
That same day, he emailed Lil Sippy with a mix of paranoid accusations and delusions, suggesting that Grace Vanderwall was cheating on him with Clark due to his lack of housing. His emails only became even more erratic, with Daniel claiming that the jail staff, public defenders, and even the Secret Service were conspiring to keep him locked up. He blamed everyone, from CU students to even Bob, for framing him, even suggesting that the threats and incriminating content on his phone were planted to ensure his arrest. On the 25th, he revealed in a call with Clark that he had gotten into a fight with another inmate.
When did that fight happen yesterday? So your old cellmate, did he just come up to you in the unit?
It happened in the cell after lockdown, and then he started saying, Grace is not in contact with you. She never will be. Your legal discovery states it. And she said, well, that's not true at all because you don't know the true facts. And my legal discovery is out of date. It's clearly out of date. And if she really didn't like me and she didn't want the relationship, she would have pressed her. And Blake would have too. And he went all berserk over that.
Jeez, did you have to go to the nurse or?
No, I mean, surprisingly enough, I wasn't even bleeding that much, but it was enough to give me a black eye.
Damn.
I put in a kite psychology today to let them know, because I have a history of hitting myself. And I'm gonna let them know that, I can't trust everything. This call is from a federal prison. Can't believe just anybody, because people are,
There's people in there trying to troll you too. And
Oh yeah, I know. People are starting to troll. People are starting to. It's just the friendships in here are just starting to really get like too close, if you know what I mean. And then they just start going over the top until it's no longer funny, and then people get in a fight over it.
yeah, well, hopefully, did they move your cell after that fight yet, or are you still with them?
Yeah, they moved my cell.
Okay.
They viewed it, but I moved the cell because there's no issues when we're in the daylight.
Yeah.
The issues are only with particular cellmates. And they're when we're on lockdown. So with the right cellmate, everything is perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's a good thing. Hopefully, your new cellmate is better. Your old cellmate was probably a pedophile or something. It was just like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to say something that isn't
True.
but yeah. But besides that, I'm doing okay. I'm just waiting at this point. I mean, being on lockdown so much in a 6x or 8x4 cell is really not fun at all.
No, it's not. And
Especially when I'm innocent and the case is gonna get dropped anyways. It's bullshit.
To kick off December, Daniel made what would be his last phone call from FCI Englewood, speaking to Clark and claiming that he had been sexually assaulted by his former cellmate. The full call, which surfaced online only 2 days later, would mark the end of his communication from that facility.
Did they let you like?
But I reported it.
What would he touch you? What the hell, Daniel?
Well, it was a lot more than just that, but he held me down and wouldn't let me, or whatever, tried to do some stuff, but I reported it, and well, another thing is the jail, sexual abuse, whatever, report he dropped that case, that it never happened. It didn't improve, so that pisses me off too.
Yeah, that's wrong. Did they let you?
They did move me out of that cell, and that guy actually got out of jail. He left to the halfway house.
Weird.
So that's not good either.
No, that
If
guy.
he goes to the same halfway house I was supposed to go to, then that's a safety concern.
On the 6th, Daniel began bombarding Lil Sippy with emails, revealing that he was being transferred to Springfield. The emails, sent under frantic subject lines like "What's going on?" and "Emergency," were riddled with paranoid claims. Daniel alleged that federal authorities were forcing him to sever ties with Bob as well as the Vanderwalls, while urging him to abandon his career entirely. In another email, he assured Sippy that rumors about him not showering were false, adamantly stating that he showered twice daily and brushed his teeth 3 times a day. One email stood out, with Daniel asking for a pardon from either President Biden or Trump, believing his status as an independent might work in his favor. 2 days later, Daniel would send some more updates, confirming that his transfer to Springfield was coming soon. He also mentioned starting new medications and claimed that Tina had even called the jail, instructing him to stop contacting her. By the 10th, Daniel was no longer listed in the Bureau of Prisons custody, sparking lots of confusion and speculation within the community and on the subreddit. It was later confirmed by Flexberger that he had actually been transferred from FCI Englewood to Cimarron Correctional Facility in Payne County, Oklahoma. Shortly after arriving at Cimarron, Daniel called Clark again, informing him that he was awaiting his transfer to Springfield.
Hi, Daniel. Jeez, what the heck? I'm back in the States now, so pretty much anytime. Sorry, I was trying to figure out the credit card thing and everything, because your calls haven't cost money recently, but these ones do, and I didn't know you were going to be in Oklahoma, so I'm confused on that as well, but I'm here now.
Okay, so I'm in Oklahoma, because they don't transfer direct.
Okay, okay.
I went on a private jet with the feds, okay? From Denver to Oklahoma with about 200 people on the plane. It's like a private commercial jet.
Jeez.
When the next plane goes from Cimarron to Springfield, then that's the plane I'm going to be on.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what some people were talking about online, that you're just in a holding and then they'll move you to Missouri in the next couple of days.
I would be full on lying to you guys if I were to say that Daniel Larson's story has a neat ending. It's not the kind of tale that fits into a satisfying arc or leaves you with the clarity of moral resolution. What we have instead is the messy, unflinching reality of one man's relentless pursuit of attention, played out on a stage where everyone from trolls to fans to opportunistic managers had a hand in both fueling his rise and expediting his downfall. The conclusion of this docuseries isn't necessarily about tying all these loose threads up. It's about facing the reality that this story reveals about the people involved in it and the culture that made it possible. Daniel Larson's behavior was objectively abhorrent, and his actions left a trail of harm that cannot and should not be ignored. Whether it was his obsession with minors, his unhinged and sometimes violent public outbursts, or his willingness to completely fabricate relationships with people who never even knew he existed, Daniel epitomized the worst aspects of someone chasing recognition at any cost. His obsession with fame was not just some simple quirk. No, it was his entire identity. Every interaction, every delusion, every weird-ass TikTok or live stream, it all stemmed from his unwavering belief that he mattered in ways far beyond reality. He wanted to be seen, to be heard, to be validated, and in the end, it destroyed him. But Daniel did not exist in a vacuum. He became what he was because of the ecosystem around him, an ecosystem that cheered him on, that tore him down, and encouraged the worst parts of his psyche for entertainment. The so-called Larsonverse wasn't just a passive audience. It was an active participant in his life, creating a feedback loop of encouragement and humiliation nonstop. Trolls found endless amusement in pushing him further into delusion, whether by pretending to be celebrity managers, orchestrating fan meetups that no one attended, or leading him to believe that he was on the brink of stardom. You see, at its core, the story of Daniel Larson is all about exploitation. He was exploited by these trolls, by these opportunists, even by those who claim to help him. But it's also about complicity. Everyone who watched, laughed, shared, or even documented his life played a role in turning his existence into a spectacle, and that includes me. What I think makes Daniel's story so uniquely unsettling, but also incredibly fascinating, is how it brilliantly showcases the internet's ability to amplify the shittiest aspects of human behavior. Daniel wanted fame, and he got it, but not in the way he imagined. The purpose of this series was never to glorify or demonize Daniel, but rather to understand him, and by extension, the world that shaped him. So, what exactly was the whole message of this docuseries? Well, if there's one lesson to salvage from all of this, it's that the internet isn't just some weightless stage where events unfold without consequences. There are very real people at the end of every live feed, every comment thread, when we watch a life burn out in full view, nudging it along for clicks, fiending help, or just standing by with morbid curiosity. We're not just spectators. We're a part of the machinery that turns private despair into a public phenomenon. And that shit is scary, but that's the uncomfortable truth. So, before I wrap things up, I guess for good this time, I want to acknowledge the people who helped to bring this series to life. First off, a huge thank you to my friend Brett, better known as TechSaint HD, who crafted nearly every thumbnail you've seen over these installments. Just absolutely phenomenal work every single time, like he's just the absolute thumbnail goat. I also owe a debt of gratitude to my guy Flexburger, who put in a ton of work behind the scenes, especially on the previous part. But like, honestly, I genuinely do not think that I would have been able to make the last two parts of this whole series without his help. So yeah, man, thank you. I'd also like to thank everyone at the Daniel Larson Wiki for maintaining an incredibly detailed and well-organized archive. Throughout the whole production of this series, the wiki consistently kept me on the right track as I pieced the whole timeline together. And of course, to the 35,000 of you who decided to hit that subscribe button while this massive 5-part passion project was still unfolding. When I started this whole thing nearly 2 years ago, it was just one video, and now it's the backbone of my entire channel. Your guys' support, your comments, and yes, even your criticisms have all shaped how I approach making these documentaries and making these YouTube videos. Now, I know some of you guys tune into my channel solely for the Daniel Larson updates, and that means this is kind of the end of the road for some of y'all. And honestly, I completely get it, but I truly do hope that you guys will stick around, because although this docu-series is finally at its long-awaited end, there are plenty more strange people and stories that I think are worth exploring in the future. So yeah, I've been Kusari, and thank you guys so much for watching.